Hey everybody, I'm Zach and welcome to my shop. And this week I'm going to admit that I have a tool addiction problem. And as you can see behind me here, this one's a big one. So starting off unloading the sander there, I managed to get my buddy's forklift stuck. Thankfully I was able to get it out, but sit back and watch, enjoying getting it off there. I'm going to admit here, right here for the world, I have a tool addiction problem. And this week I bought a big belt sander. I got it on an IRS auction and I thought, ooh, that would be nice because I'd like to get back into making cabinetry. I thought that'd be really nice for sanding doors and tabletops and things like that. And yeah, so I bought it. It's actually from the North Carolina Department of Corrections, and I got a huge book of all the paperwork and stuff with this sander, and it's really neat. I'm going to show you guys here, like this has like the proposal when the state bought it and everything there, the concrete and stuff, so it's actually kind of neat. We'll go through the history of this guy. All right, so the way this machine works is actually pretty neat here. So it's got a drive belt that runs your material through there. You have two sanding heads here. You have one in the front, one in the back. This is a 30 horse. This is a 20 horse. You have an airbag like you would have on a truck that pushes up and puts the tension on the belt. And then you have an electronic eye in the back there that runs a pneumatic cylinder that controls the tracking. Now I've read on some forums where people have been had an issue with that. I don't really see how it would be that difficult if you're kind of used to motion controls in factories, things like that, but we'll see. I don't know, I haven't powered the machine up yet. Big rollers on it, and so I believe that is the pneumatic cylinder control there for actuating the tension on the belts. Yeah, it's a pretty neat setup. You got a big rubber roller in the front here, and you've got two metal rollers on the back there. I assume that's just so the front one can kind of take out any imperfections or any inconsistencies in the wood. On the back one puts a nice smooth finish on it. Let's take a look at the electrical cabinet here. So you got some controls on the front here and you open it up here, and the cool thing about a machine like this, there's no electronics in it whatsoever. You just have some contactors and really that's about it. So you got your mains going in up here. Your mains split off into a contactor for the main and for the secondary motor there. Looks like the contactor for the mains here, the main motor is 130 amp and it's a 90 amp for the back one. So right now I really don't have the electricity to run this. I might be able to get the motor going. We'll see. My plan is to put in a 40 horsepower phase converter that should get me about 100 amps of 3-phase. So I don't know that I'll be able to actually run this at full capacity, but I could definitely run it. So we'll see. I haven't got that far yet. But again, like I said, the cool thing about this is there's no electronics in it. There's no PLC. There's no computer. It's just contactors. So it should be really easy to fix. The neat thing about this is you got load indicators here that are up there for your motors there that tell you how much load you're putting on it. And yeah, it's fairly simple. So I'm pretty excited to play with it. All right, we're on the back side of the machine here and there's not a whole lot of room. So there's your main motor there. That's your 30 horse. That's your 20 horse motor. And we'll go ahead and open this cabinet here that has the tracking cylinders. So back there is the eye that controls the tracking of the two heads, or well, there's one for each of them rather. And this one, the only thing I see that's broke on this machine is this is the pneumatic cylinder that pivots those. So there's some solenoids in there that control that pneumatic cylinder that sets the tracking of that head. So that's the only thing I see in there that's really broken. So hopefully I can just put power to this guy, put some air to it, because it takes pneumatics to run all that. We'll fire it up and it'll work. I gotta order some belts first though. Here is the gearbox for the speed control for the belt. This guy here, you twist and it adjusts the feed rate of the belt. And then it looks like this over here is the control for the two different heads. So we'll have to get this guy hooked up here and see if I can actually start it. I've got a 15 horse phase converter in here, but when I run the table saw, it's a 12 horse motor, and then my other dust collector. I might have enough starting capacity to actually start that. I don't know. We'll see. This is the original equipment seller of this sander here. So April 18th of 1990. So this looks like the proposal that went to the state here. So it looks like the original acquisition price of the machine here was $21,950. Looks like they added a 20 horsepower spindle and a 25 horsepower spindle. That's pretty neat. So this machine was $21,000 in 1990. So let's see, it looks like they electrical installation was $6,000. What else we got here? What else we got? So spindle arm assembly, spindle head assembly, drive motor. This is pretty neat. I'm actually really excited to have gotten all this with the machine. Clamp carrier, completer, huh. I don't know what all this is, but it looks like they bought some other stuff while they were at it. They bought a dovetailer. Huh. That is pretty neat. Oh, I see, for cabinets. That's really neat. So this is all the stuff they must have bought at the same time here. That's really cool, huh? So they were setting up a cabinet shop in whatever prison. That's kind of neat, and also I wonder if they were using inmates for forced labor. Huh. Interesting. Big dust ports on the top. There's our load sensors, or load indicators. You got a hand wheel down here that you can manually control the table. It looks like this is the control for the electric control for the feeder. It's kind of dark on the back side here, but there's, like I said, there's the control for the belt. This is your discharge side. I'm not exactly sure what those do. I need to read the manual. So there's your secondary motor and your main motor, and it looks like there's a brake on the motor there, and I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I see, this is the cylinder or the pressure gauges for the different heads, and then I'm not exactly sure what those pneumatic solenoids do. So it'll be a learning experience getting this thing going. So anyway, I'm Darlington Farm. Please check back to the channel here, hit that subscribe button, and all that, you know, hit the little bell ding when it lets you notified when I put up a video, and thank you all for tuning in.